Maybe, just maybe, your financial struggle isn't an attack from the devil. It's a test of your preparation. I know that sounds harsh, especially when you're overwhelmed, broke, and praying for breakthrough. But what if I told you that God hasn't abandoned you? He's watching how you manage this moment. Because blessing without wisdom leads to destruction. We cry out, God, open the door, but haven't asked, am I even ready to walk through it? What if your miracle didn't need more money, just more maturity? What if you don't need a rescue but a reset? I remember a young woman named Lisa. She had been laid off, bills were stacking, and her prayers felt like they were hitting the ceiling. One night she broke down and cried, not because she doubted God, but because she realized something painful. She never learned how to budget. She was praying for an increase, but never honored what she had. That night she decided to change, not out of fear, but out of faith. She downloaded a free budgeting app and told God, if you give me another chance, I'll manage it better this time. 6 months later, she got a new job, not only with better pay, but with wisdom she never had before. God didn't just restore her, He rebuilt her. If God has permitted you to be in this season, there is a miracle. He still intends to perform. But how you respond, your mindset, is key to how you overcome the pressure. So before you give up, before you get bitter, before you compromise, listen to this. This might be the divine reset your spirit's been waiting for. Hebrews 13 verse 5 says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. It is not easy, let's be honest. Contentment doesn't mean you're satisfied. It means you trust that where you are now is not the end of your story. James was a taxi driver who loved God. Business was down. His kids needed school fees. He was tempted to stop tithing and use that money instead. But something told him, stay faithful. He obeyed even when it didn't make sense. 2 months later, someone he had given a ride offered him a full-time logistics contract. The breakthrough didn't come because James had more money. It came because he had more faith and was faithful. Even when money is tight, even when the pressure is real, even when others seem far ahead, you can still say, God is with me. You can still worship. You can still tithe. You can still give even if it's little. So don't let the season of hardship deceive you into disconnecting from God. Don't let frustration make you forget who your source is. He's still Jehovah Jireh, the provider, and He's still working just behind the scene. Maybe, just maybe, your financial struggle isn't an attack from the devil. It's a test of your preparation. We cry out, God bless me, but God is asking, are you ready? What if the breakthrough isn't delayed? It's just that the vessel isn't ready to hold it. In today's message, we're confronting the uncomfortable truth. God doesn't promote people who are unprepared, and He will not give you a miracle that will destroy your soul. This is not a hype message. This is a deep reset. So if you're tired, struggling, and overwhelmed, this one is for you. Let's discover how God teaches us to survive seasons of struggle with grace, wisdom, and faith. And hey, if you're into real, down-to-earth money talks and mindset shifts that actually teaches you something, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. I drop gems like this every single day to help you think bigger, plan smarter, and build a life that truly works. Point 1. Contentment is not complacency. Hebrews 13 verse 5 tells us, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Let's be real, you're not satisfied. But contentment means understanding this. If God has allowed me to be here, He has a reason, and He will bring me through. You don't stop tithing because the money is tight. You don't stop giving because your income dropped. Don't let financial pressure disconnect you from divine principles. Pressure reveals who your real source is, and if it's not God, it'll show. Point 2. Beware of comparison and covetousness. Exodus 20 verse 17 says, you shall not covet your neighbor's house or anything that belongs to your neighbor. I once mentored a young man, Daniel, who couldn't sleep after seeing his friends' flashy lifestyles on Instagram. One friend had just bought a car, another went on vacation in Dubai, Daniel started doubting God, thinking he was being left behind, until one day one of those same friends came to him privately, drowning in debt, secretly depressed. That moment changed Daniel. He realized comparison is a lie dressed in filters, and God's timing doesn't come with hashtags, it comes with healing. So put this down in the comments section. Comparison is a lie dressed in filters, and I will give you a heart. The danger in this pressure-filled season is comparison. Your friend just bought a car, someone else just got married, and here you are struggling to pay rent. You start to feel bitter, but hear this, you don't know their full story. They may look good in public, but you don't know their private pain. You don't know the price they paid for that shortcut. Don't measure your life by someone else's timeline. God's promises are still yes and amen for you. Stay in your lane and keep your eyes steady on God. Point 3. Face your reality. Stop pretending. Proverbs 27 verse 23 says, "Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds." There's a man named Samuel who used to drive a luxury car he couldn't afford, just to impress clients. Every month he was drowning in debt, pretending to live a life that wasn't real. One day his car got repossessed. He was humiliated. But that season forced him to downsize, rebuild, and face his truth. Few years later, he bought a car with no loan, paid in full. He told me, "Freedom feels better than fake success." That's what happens when you stop performing and start planning. Know your real situation. Don't plan a wedding as if you have $1 million when you've not saved $5,000. Stop renting a 3-bedroom apartment when you can't afford 1 room and parlor. Don't be a financial actor living a false life. There's a big difference between trusting God and refusing to face the facts. Plan with what you have. Yes, God will provide. But even God blesses plans that are rooted in truth. Start where you are. Live within your means. Let God lift you in due season. Point 4. Preparation is your proof of faith. Luke 14 verse 28 says, "For which of you intending to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost?" We want business success, marriage and promotion, but have we counted the cost? Every business plan works on paper until it hits reality. Every relationship feels good until pressure tests the foundation. God will not commit kingdom resources into irresponsible hands. Prove to Him that you're ready by planning wisely, budgeting realistically, taking responsibility, and working as a team, not dependently. Kimberly and Scott were engaged and deeply in love, but during their premarital counseling, the mentor asked one question: who's handling the budget? They laughed it off until they had their first financial argument just 2 months into marriage. They had no plan, no goals, no agreement. They assumed love would solve it all. But love without structure creates stress. Think deeply on this and comment below. Love without structure creates stress. So they sat down, created a joint budget, assigned roles, and began weekly check-ins. Their marriage transformed not just financially but emotionally. They learned that preparation is not a lack of faith, but it's a proof of it. Point 5. Start small, start real. Zechariah 4 verse 10 says, "Do not despise the day of small beginnings." Starting small is not failure, it's wisdom. When your assumptions fail, small beginnings protect you from big losses. If your idea fails, you learn fast and cheap. If it works, you scale with confidence. Execution is your responsibility. The idea is God's. He gives you the seed, you decide how you plant it. Jason had a dream of launching a clothing brand. He wanted a fancy website, influencers, international shipping, all in one day. But he had no real customer base. His mentor challenged him, sell 50 shirts in your neighborhood first. If that works, then scale. So Jason printed 50 plain t-shirts with a bold word, grace. He sold out in a week. Then he reinvested, grew slowly, and now runs a full fashion brand. He said, "Starting small gave me room to make mistakes without going broke." God honors the seed, but you must start first. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start now. Start small. Start with God. Point 6. Be careful who you listen to. Romans 10 verse 17 says, "Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." But guess what? Corruption also comes by hearing. You saw your friend return in a Rolls-Royce after 5 years and suddenly you want shortcuts. But be careful, you don't know what he traded for that ride. Every successful person isn't your example. Choose who you follow with wisdom. Not every opportunity is a blessing. Ask God, who have you sent to guide me? Look unto Jesus, not Instagram. Chelsea used to follow a popular influencer who preached money by any means. She was drawn in and she invested in a shady crypto scheme and lost her entire savings in 3 months. Heartbroken, she returned to her prayer altar and said, "Lord, I followed the noise, not your voice." Today she teaches young people how to discern financial voices from spiritual ones. Her advice: don't let someone else's highlight reel rob you of your heavenly strategy. Point 7. Stand in the fire like Job. Job lost everything, not because he sinned, but because God trusted him with trouble. Not all suffering is punishment. Some are tests, some are training, some are testimonies in the making. Don't curse God and die. Don't abandon your values. Know your truth. Stand in it. Live by it. Because when your elevation comes, people won't just see the glory. They will know the God who carried you through the troubles. Final words. Philippians 4 verse 6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition present your requests to God." Yes, the pressure is real, but God's promise is greater. The silver is His, the gold is His, the blessing He gives adds no sorrow. Hold your ground, prepare with intention, be relentless. When the spotlight hits, it should find you already building something that matters. If this video made you think a little deeper or helped you see things in a new light, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps. Don't just watch and disappear. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what stuck with you the most. And if you're into real conversations about money, mindset, and building something that actually lasts, make sure you subscribe. We've got way more where this came from. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you in the next one.